Hey guys, how's it going? Really miss being able to hang out with you all on Sundays. Um, Hopefully we'll be able to get back together soon. Me and Tiffany today are going to be sharing a bit with you all. But first, I'm going to kick things off with a challenge, okay? So, as you might have known, me and Tiffany are both professional dancers, and actually last year we both came second on Strictly Come Dancing, which was a great feat for both of us. And one of my favourite dance moves is the worm. This week's challenge is you have to show us your best worm. The winner will get points for their life group, and points mean prizes. At the end of the year, the life group with the most points will get a trip away. So watch my worm and try and do one better than this.
All the best with that challenge. I look forward to seeing your video sent into the Instagram page and see which life group will get an extra point. We're going to start off by asking you a question. What would you like to be, do, or have when you're older? Take a couple of seconds and think about it. It's maybe that you would like to be married, have kids, get a good job, make lots of money so you can buy a house and lots of cool things. It might be that you actually want to travel the world. None of these things are bad, and to be honest, I quite like to do all of those things. But it's amazing that sometimes when we think about our future and the big picture of our lives, we actually forget about God and what He wants in our life. And to be honest, what God wants should probably be the priority of our lives, because we know that His plans are for good and not to harm us. And today we're going to look at the word simplicity, or a simple life. And I want you to think, what does simplicity mean? What do you think it means? What could it mean? How does a simple life work? Well, that's what we're going to chat about today. And basically, simplicity, you think of the word easy or simple. And what we want to talk about today is learning the difference between what we need and what we actually want. And that's something that's quite hard, because we want a lot of things in life. For example, we may want lots of cool, nice clothes, maybe designer brands, or we might want the newest games or the newest sports equipment. And those things aren't necessarily bad, but we maybe just don't actually need them, and we maybe want those things more than what we actually need. Today I want to ask you, how materialistic do you think you are? Is this something that you would like to change, or are you okay with it? We are going to read from Matthew chapter 19, verse 16 to 22. Just then a man came to Jesus and asked, "Teacher, what good thing must I do to get eternal life?" "Why do you ask me about what is good?" Jesus replied. "There is only one who is good. If you want to enter, keep the commandments." "Which ones?" he inquired. Jesus replied, "You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not give false testimony, honour your father and mother, and love your neighbour as yourself." "All of these I've kept," the young man said. "What do I still lack?" Jesus answered, "If you want to be perfect, go sell your possessions and give to the poor, and you will have the treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me." Or when the young man heard this, he went away sad, because he had had great wealth. Now, I don't know about you, but if someone asked me to give away all of my possessions, I would find it quite hard. I, at the minute, am clearing out my room because I would like to redecorate it, because let's be real, we have lots of time at the minute to do the things we always wanted to do, but had just put away. And I was clearing out my room and I realised I am a big hoarder. I have all of my primary school ties and do you know the P7 tops that you get signed? I still have that. I have my junior high tie, my junior high shirt, my Lurgan College uniform. I have my timetables from the junior high and Lurgan College. I just have so much junk that I don't need. And that stuff, to be fair, I like to keep just because I like to look at it and be like, oh, my kids can see it one day, when realistically they will not want to look at it. But I think it would be hard to give away half. I think those stuff would probably be in the things I would want to get rid of, and I'd want to keep all my clothes and probably my bed. But this isn't what this passage is telling us to do. It isn't saying that all of us, all Christians, have to give away all of our stuff. It was specific to this man. And there's another thing I want you to think of too. Money isn't bad. Money is actually something that in this world we tend to need, so we can buy food, we can keep a house, we can keep ourselves safe. But the issue with this story is he had money first. Money went above God. It was his priority. And that's when things become bad. That is when good things become bad. Having stuff isn't bad either, unless it is our number one, because we are told not to have any idols, and anything that takes the place of God is in fact an idol. And money and stuff, and no matter what it is, if it takes the place of God, then it becomes a bad thing. It doesn't keep our life on track. And I want you to think about the word simplicity again. It is to remove all of the things that take up our time and our space and our effort. And it's the things that distract us from improving our relationship from God. It's about removing all of those things, because we should want to make God our priority. We should want our relationship with him to be the main thing to grow and develop. And sometimes the things that we have and the things that we want to have, they take priority and they take our focus, because we might think so hard about the new shoes that we want or the new game and how we're going to get it. How are we going to save up the money to buy this new thing? Instead of thinking, okay, how am I going to develop my relationship with God? Am I going to read my Bible more? Am I going to spend my time praying? What am I doing to make that relationship go further? And at the end of the day, all God wants is our heart and our desire for him. He wants us to build upon that. And he doesn't want just our half of our hearts or a wee part of our heart. He wants it all. He just wants all of us. And today I have 3 more questions for you. So the first one is, where should I have less? Where in my life should I have less? So go into your bedroom, have a look around and think, okay, all of this stuff that I've kind of like stockpiled up, do I need it? Does it still need to be there? Is it serving any purpose in my life? And it's okay to say, yes, some of that stuff I do need. But what about the stuff that you don't need? And should we remove those things so that we can have a better relationship with God? Do you love those things more than you love God? If the answer is yes, then that's maybe something that you should sacrifice and should give away, because God is more important than anything that we can ever have. The second one is, what should I do less? Now, this one's seems a wee bit strange, because simplicity, you think of things and materialism, but actually, what are we doing with our time? Are we spending all of our time at the minute I'm spending most of my time on Zoom, trying to plan things like this, but also just chatting to my friends. Like, we are in the middle of a lockdown where we should have so much rest, so much peace, so much quiet time, but we actually don't, because we as humans just build so much into our lives. We just keep making sure we're busy and doing loads of different things, but actually that isn't the way we should be living. Like, what should we do less? What should we do get rid of? Because yes, we play sports a lot, and yes, those things are good, but are they eating into our time where we should be praying, where we should be getting rest and actually spending it more with God? The last one is, what should I do more? Because simplicity isn't about stripping stuff away only. It is also about guiding your time to do the right things. So should we be praying more? Should we be reading our Bible more? Should we be reading a Christian book more? Should we be listening to worship music more? Just resting in his presence more? Are those things that we do a lot? Simplicity is about making sure that you're doing more of the right things. And the right things may look different for you than it does for us, but that's okay, as long as God is the main focus. Like going to do sports and painting, or reading, even if it's not a Christian book, or going out to the countryside and just chilling, wherever you find your rest and your peace, but also where you feel closest to God, whatever that looks like. And that is okay. You're allowed to do that. Those things are good, and we ask you to do those more. But yeah, today we just want to make sure that you focus on a simple life. What are the things that God would want us to focus on?
So yeah, Tiffany has summed up simplicity, or living a simplistic life, really well. It's not about giving everything that you have away, giving away all your possessions, but it's ensuring that God is at the top of your priority list. ensuring that nothing is more important than God in your life. And so, how are you going to do that? How are you going to ensure that God is the most important thing in your life? Maybe it's by spending less time on your PlayStation or Xbox. Maybe it's spending less time on your phone. Maybe actually it's spending less time lying about watching TV or Netflix or something like that. And maybe that's something that you just feel like is taking over too much of your life at the moment. But there's also another perfect opportunity. Renew within our church is a clothing bank, and they're doing an appeal at the moment for new clothes to help others. And maybe you're like me, who has loads of clothes and really needs to do a big clear out. And this is the perfect opportunity to get rid of some of the stuff that we have too much of. For me, I know I probably have far too many t-shirts and shoes and things like that. And so I'm going to try and clear out some of my wardrobe and clear out some of my clothes and give them to Renew. And so maybe this is something that you could do as well. Why not have a think about it? Think about what are you going to be able to do to gain a more simplistic life and ensure that God is the top of your priority list.